Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Her life from Fire Your Heart, children of God. That was different last night. She's so verbally abusive. I'm talking to all of us about being dumb, guys. I don't know if I guess we still could call that abusive. We're doing the bean thing again. The bean lady. You're gonna call me the bean lady? Well, I mean, I'd like to come on and show our delicious other dinners, but it's cause for probably to get broken into. Here's the eggs. I am thinking, like I said, I need to get the shells. I think this is because they're going to start slowing down. And I added more this time, then I'm going to add the water in opposed to doing the dumb way that I did it. So I already put everything in. I've got the 2 eggs. Today I added the black bean burgers. I added chia seeds. Not very much. Probably equivalent to 3 grams protein. So this is considered a whole packet's like 1.5 ounces. So if I've only done like, I can't even really say it's 3. What I'm trying to get to is I'm trying to say that we're going to have the protein at a certain level. So then I finally chopped up pretty fine the celery. I don't like all of that to get overcooked. So like I would like the celery to have a little crisp left to it. And I do always go ahead and I add the leaves too. If I've got a good thing of celery, and hopefully I can stay on track, because we were thinking, you know, I think people were saying it online, is that why was the food, well, let's stay on track. 2 eggs, the chia. I'm going to add Fresca cheese. Fresca cheese is very low in fat. I could get a count maybe. I got to reopen it, and then the camera angles and just upsets me. So at least going to try to put some of this. So I can't open it too far. Get the fan. 2 eggs, chia, Fresca, or Fresco. Probably saying it wrong. Fresco, queso. Okay, so I was a little wrong. 8 servings, it's 8 grams of fat, but I just eat. I could use to lose 20 pounds, but I ain't gonna. So I spent my whole life trying to take the 20 pounds down. Now, yeah, it's obviously bigger than it was back then, but I'm going to add the drop of the sunflower and virgin olive oil. There's misconceptions about oils and stuff. It's mainly what you're doing with your carbs and how you're going about your fats. Doesn't mean I'm always doing it right, obviously, but so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this up first with the egg. And then I cut up fresh garlic and onion with the celery. And in this mix is it's rice, or quick oats, instant rice, black beans, tomatoes, cornstarch, and then there's already some spices. And I did throw in the ones that I dried at Brentwood, the really teeny tiny, super, super duper hot. So I only did like 2 of those. Or 3. It actually may have been too much. I hope not. Just 3 little ones. Those are so potent that it's unreal. And they came in different colors. There was like red, really pretty. Red, yellow, orangish. I think there was I don't think they're green. They would have started out green. And then they went to the reds, the yellows, and oranges. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly add in this water. And so approximately if you do 4 of the patties, or wait, it says 4. No, I got that messed up. You know what? Now I messed up the count. I divided it by 4. Oh, no. So what's 6 times 5? Okay, we got the protein a lot higher than I thought. 6 times 5 is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Oh, I'm like way off. So, oh my goodness. Okay, so that's just saying that in the pack it's 30. Then I added 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, so you're actually, it's higher. I had it where it's approximately 10 grams of patty, but that would be a little more. And then obviously that you would be, I mean, that's if you're watching it, if, you know. So see, like with the egg in here, but then it says I gotta let it set. So I'm just gonna add a little, oh, I shouldn't get into that. All right, so then we're gonna set it aside. It says 15 minutes or so. I'm not taking back anything I said, you guys. It's very serious. And I was having where I realized all those, like, where they were kept trying to false charge me, and then these abusive men. One was a thief. He was breaking into my apartment when I was a single mom. I was working at this little diner. I was making nothing, no money, but I was still trying to put some aside. And, so I had warned him. Gosh, I don't know how many times I warned Zach. Can you imagine being a scumbucket who's impregnated how many women? And he did. And then breaking into a single mother's home, apartment, and stealing my waitress money. So he was in there just scrounging around. And my neighbors were Vietnam vets, disabled. They all lived together. It was like a part of the, I'm not very certain. It might have been part of, no. It's some kind of veterans group. And then the guys lived there, and they had help to some degree. They helped each other. So they lived across from me. So they would let me know, like, if someone was breaking in. God, I was so miserable living at that apartment. It was so bad for me. Being stuck, no trees. Like, we had to walk to the park. Oh, it was just horrible. It was just over Anne's shop so she could keep track of me and document and do stuff and be a pedophile. And, oh my God, I just fell to shreds. And then they managed to make sure I couldn't get my license. That was when I was working too with so then you figure if they started the stalking with the police extra after the juvenile delinquency center, and you figured I wasn't even fully hired in, it was technically going to be on call, because I'm wondering if I'd already had a brush with the law. No, not really. More of the speeder. I don't know if I had a... So I wanted to show you guys something, because I think this is very bizarre, and to me this shows the high levels of radiation. And the cute boys, but we are infested with mosquitoes because dumbass had to do the meadow and we didn't get the pool drained in time, and it just kept raining. And 2 doors down, it's more of a swamp, like lower land area. So I mean, we're just swarmed in mosquitoes. Okay, now it's not going to show on the camera. That's what sucks. Is the very top of the fuja, it just appeared, not. So meaning it's been fried by another way with the radiation, or purposely done to catch a fire. And unfortunately it's not showing up on the light, and I got to go in because of the mosquitoes. But the very tip top of the fuja is fried. Like as if you were to fry it with a torch. With a torch. It wasn't like that before. No. On the lighting, I can't get the right angle with the light, with the sun right now. Or the light. It's, how many feet? Like, I have 3 feet, 2 feet in. Like, so as if, like, maybe they were trying to catch it on fire, or someone did. Someone was trying to catch it on fire. Okay, so let's try to stay on track here. So, 9 minutes. That's pretty good with the cooking thing. Oh. Oh. Oh, it's just from my cell phone company texting about something, pushing 5G on me. So, I'll turn this down, let that set, and it's probably going to be too dark. No. Yeah. Extra weird. So the humidity, it's like a swamp. Like, I don't know why I think I couldn't live down in Mississippi or something when it's pretty much close to that up here part of the year. I mean, this is a swamp. Technically, this town was mostly swamp. On the coast over by where the lake is, that was a lot of that was filled in this town. It's a pretty wild story when you think about it. This place was swarming. We're talking probably one of the biggest population, well, I mean, all of the state of Michigan, but at one time, this region by the rivers and the lakes was just covered in Native Americans. I mean, like a sea of them. It was that big. I don't know if it was the Shawnee. I get that confused. I can't stand Custer, and I can't stand any of those guys that did masquerades of Indians. And so that would be tied in with a lot of the forefathers. And that's why I just think that when we say really staunchly focused that, you know, that this isn't even part of the punishment for that, for those genocides. I point here, I have my map up of the natives. Then this map's even older when it shows even more names. Now those names of tribes maybe have combined in, but what was I getting the light? So one video was a little bizarre. I'm like, John, come on. So, because I was trying to help, like, have him, like, be kind of helping me, like, absolutely don't post that. It's not that he doesn't care. He just thinks that compared to what most people do, like, he's like, I said, it looks like I was dressing in the bathroom. He's like, honey, like, that's how condensations it is. It was saying the 90s earlier humidity, but what was really throwing me is that when it was like 80 something, and then it was like 80 humidity, but it seemed worse in the days where the humidity was way higher, where we were just pouring. And John's like, he says it's just based on pressure and different stuff. Something helpful. Now, I was trying to narrow down my therapists. I've been going to I've not been going, but I listen and I read other testimonies and stories of abuse and people recovering and healing and where they are in their different stages. Does that come? No, it's all right. Anyhow, 4:30 today. You can find him on YouTube. I don't know if that's how he does the live too. I think I end up leaning more towards him, even though it's hard because he obviously had very bad experience with 2 alcoholic parents, and then I struggled, so I put my son through some of that. Back when, though, now it's, oof. So I'm going to try that group today. I usually don't get to the lives because that would be right when, like, say, pretty close when John gets ready for work. So then I help get together, like, a snack and stuff so he can sleep in because he had a really challenging morning and the car did something on the expressway. So we're probably not taking the expressway because it sounded pretty weird to me. But then he's saying, oh, well, it could happen. But it was as if this one thing just apparently unplugged itself, and then the car just was stopped, like, more or less, like he had to pull over. I said, what? And I don't know if I showed him the tree. So is that when they're like flying really low, they keep flying really low over the house, and so they're going to try to cause a fire. I was wondering if that was going to be one of their their ideas with me is a fire. Because then they could blame it because, too, that I didn't cut the grass. This lighting and stuff right now is really bothering me, so. I mean, when I say I don't care, I do care. But, like, I can't care about the attacks anymore. They're not going to stop. And I don't think we're the only ones. Like, for instance, there's some ginormous trees here, and I can see the strain on some of them. Not just on my property. We don't have a ton of big ones on our property. She has a like mini forest type thing going on over there, but then like she has a gorgeous maple that goes directly back, and this whole back side of it, ironically on my side, is dying. Now, granted, it's a huge tree, and I mean maples can only go for so long. I mean they can, but just seeing that stuff, like I wonder if I go to this side. No, let's not right now. I don't need any trauma. So I won't even be able to be out here long. I'm going to get swarmed. So it would seem like out of nowhere, and all of a sudden we had too many. So does it show from here? See how it's just fried and dead? But before it rained the last time, it looked like it literally had been burnt, like with a fire. Like torched. I don't know if it'll show in the back here. Okay, so see, can you see where like her back, these branches here are they're dying. I don't see anything else. These trees in our yard, a lot of them are not good. The pines aren't. The pines needed to really go probably. So yeah, we got a real mess here. We knew we would. So now we're gonna have to get some tablets. I guess we're gonna try that. But if there's a lowland spot on the one neighbor, and then obviously we've got two trees. Oh, that's enough rambling. Seemed like I did have something, but I'll remember later. Is Patrick Teehan's a childhood trauma therapist? I believe he's out east, and I just really like his teachings. I have 3 or 4 other people I also listen to, and get encouragement from other people. And I did learn something I should have realized about incense is almost any incense, if it's burning outside, does kind of keep them, if you're sitting in a little area, it keeps some of them at bay. But now what we got going on, this is severe. I'm actually shocked it didn't start sooner, but it just means there was that many eggs that we probably helped. And we had a bunch of frogs, but like there's no way the frogs would be able to take care of these 3 smaller wooded spots in the back of the properties. So Patrick Teehan, it's spelled and a Jill. I like this Jill. There's another guy. I think he has a lot of women that are in his group more. Like I think they want to be his wife. And so I don't go to that one as much. And gosh darn it, he's so familiar that it messes me up. Or he just looks so much like this kid I knew. But I don't think that I don't even know if him and I are that close. We could be. I don't know how old he is. Oh my god, and I'm forgetting his name and everything. I feel horrible. I've actually posted his stuff for him too. And then Dr. Carter too. Dr. Carter's good. And so I like them all, but I felt like I needed to start just to focus in the last while just on one therapist, just on one. You know what I mean? What was that? What was it? It was just taking the side of her head now. All right, I gotta go. Like, I mean, my face isn't that glossy.